2 weeks, but I'm back. It's been 2 weeks since I uploaded. Last time I uploaded was recording in a live overtime reaction to Tampa Bay Lightning. Today, we're going to be looking at potential trade targets to New York Rangers at the NHL trade deadline. And when I say potential trade targets, I mean basically every notable name on the trade block. After last night's game, I don't really think very many of these guys are targets anymore just because of how well Braden Schneider played. Might actually make another video today about the Rangers' defensive conundrum upcoming. But that's a topic for a different video. This video, we're going to talk about guys we could trade for, because why the hell not? Trading's exciting. When was the last time the Rangers made an acquisition at the deadline instead of dumping someone? So, here's what we're doing. So, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different trade targets for the New York Rangers. We're going to be using 11 comparables for players that were traded for in similar situations. I referenced NHLTradeTracker.com for this, so this website's sick. Every single trade in NHL history documented on one freaking website, categorized by year. It is such. I've been using this website since I was a kid. You do trades by DM, notable deals, biggest deals, worst deals, trades by player, trades by. It is fucking awesome. Love this freaking website. So if you haven't used it, get on it. Great freaking website. Oh, also, I'm going to throw in these deals, these comparables, into an armchair GM. As you can see here, this is the Rangers we have today. This is the Rangers we have tomorrow. Oh, actually, speaking of which, did I do this from behind? That's Kodak Black. I did it from behind. Did I do this backwards? Did I do this wrong? Is this the right year? It is. Son of a bitch. So, interactive, armchair GM. Actually, you know what? That'll work. Yeah, that way I don't gotta go re-sign anybody. That's stupid. Disregard last. Okay. So, anyways, sorry. Let's get into it. We're gonna go over every single trade, every single person I see as even a relative trade candidate, and this is typically only top 6 players and higher. So the first one, Phillip Forsberg. We've discussed him on the channel before. Forsberg would be awesome for the Rangers. Squeezes right into the top 6. Honestly, on that Panarin line, it's been a revolving door of players. We've seen Kakko, we've seen Lafreniere, we've seen Anthony Greco just last night. We've seen Philip Hedl. We've seen Barclay Goodrow. It's a revolving door at this point on that line, and it would be nice to have a little bit of consistency. And you got a guy like Phillip Forsberg, who is pretty damn good. 18 goals in 26 games. The Nashville Predators are kind of making a push for the playoffs, so I don't know how realistic a Phillip Forsberg trade would be. But if Nashville does fall out of contention, it would be quite realistic because he's a pending UFA. It's doubtful that he's going to re-sign there. Something the Rangers could look at. I personally like to look at the Corsi numbers. Where the hell are they? Possession metrics. So, where's my Corsi? Where's the Corsi? Corsi for percentage. 60%. This guy controls the puck. Be perfect on that Panarin line. Because that Panarin and Strome line is all about puck possession. There you go. There's your answer right there. So Rangers were going to trade for a guy like Phillip Forsberg. The comparable I find for Forsberg was the Jason Palmerville trade, when Jason Palmerville was traded at the deadline. Now, Palmerville, albeit 2 years older than Phillip Forsberg at the time of the trade, is probably going to warrant a similar return. Now, looking at this one, we're looking at this one, 2013. That was going to be 9 years ago now. So 9 years ago, 30 years old. Forsberg right now is 28. So 2-year difference, doesn't matter. Both are pending UFAs. So they traded Palmerville with a 4th-round pick. They got Matt Hackett, Johann Larson, a 1st-round pick, and a 2nd-round pick. So, Matt Hackett, 9 years ago, was a 22-year-old goaltender in the Minnesota Wild system. Right here was his last game. Don't really look at those numbers. You look at his young guy numbers, his AHL numbers. Pretty decent AHL goalie. In terms of trade value, probably similar to like a Tyler Wall, maybe a little bit more valuable than Tyler Wall. Actually, definitely more valuable than Tyler Wall. If anything, you'd probably compare him to Georgiev in terms of trade value, in terms of raw trade value. But in terms of an actual player, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough call. But either way, Nashville wouldn't really be looking for a goaltender anyway, so disregard that. Johann Larson, 9 years ago, was a 20-year-old forward, former 2nd-round pick. Pretty highly touted prospect. Good year in the Swedish Elite League. Played a game with Minnesota. Played a bunch in the Hungary League. 37 points, 62 games at the time of his trade. Not a bad little player. This guy you probably compared to like a Morgan Barron, a young guy. I mean, he was a little bit younger than Morgan Barron, but in terms of raw value, probably on the same level, former 2nd-round pick. Maybe a Will Culley even. Just young 2nd-round pick. Move him to get a guy. The first and the second as well. If a Forsberg trade is built around anything similar to this Palmerville in terms of value, I think the Rangers should stay away. Basically, it's a first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and a third-round picks in equated value. At least that's the way I would look at it. And for a guy you're only going to get 20 games out of, I know if the assets to do so, but I'm not really in the rental mood right now. The Rangers have had their way with rentals before. Almost none of them have ever worked out. I think the Rangers are better off getting a guy you're going to get for more than a year, more than 20 games out of. And they should look elsewhere unless they can get Forsberg on an extension. But even then, I don't know if that's what the Rangers are kind of looking for right now. I don't know if the Rangers want to pick up Forsberg, sign him for an 8x8. A guy that's never played a full season in his career. Granted, a great hockey player. Phillip Forsberg is freaking awesome. I love him. But do you want to shell out that much money to a top 6 winger that might not even fit out on your team? That's just my opinion. Good option as a rental, but not at the comparable price here that we saw for Jason Palmerville. Just my opinion. Also, another reason I got this comparison is because of the seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight 20-goal seasons. Phillip Forsberg also coming off 6 straight 20-goal seasons. The only time he didn't was, I believe, last year when it was a shortened season, or the year before that. So, again, very comparable players. The second one, Tomas Hurdle. Now, this is the one I'm very much for, even if it's just a rental. The best NHL teams, the best ones, especially the ones that win cups, are very deep down the middle. The Rangers are pretty solid down the middle, but let's be honest. Phillip Forsberg has not been very good at the center position for the New York Rangers. And if the Rangers were going to get another center, why not Tomas Hurdle? Why not stack that third line? If the Rangers get Tomas Hurdle, if they stick him on the third line, don't even think of it as a third line. Think of 1A, 1B, 1C. You go from having Lafreniere, Hurdle, Gauthier to Lafreniere, Tomas friggin' Hurdle, and whoever the F you want on that right side. That is a ridiculously talented third line. Tomas Hurdle is just on one, okay? First of all, he wins faceoffs at a ridiculous clip, which honestly has not been an issue for the Rangers as of late, but why leave it to chance? I'm good, actually. No, I'm good. I'm good. I know. I already have security. Okay. I pay software security for a different company, and ever since I started paying for the different software, my old software, WebRoot, has been like, hey. It's almost like they know I'm paying somebody else. Anyways. I lost my train of thought. All right, yeah. Face-offs, hits, takeaways. He does it freaking all. And he's got gross hands and a good shot. If you look at his possession numbers, 51-4, not nearly as good as Phillip Forsberg, but still a really good hockey player, and would just be great on that third line center position. Now, if you want a comparable for Tomas Hurdle, I was iffy on this one because I almost wanted to put him right in that same category as Jason Palmerville in terms of return, because this guy doesn't really match it as much. So when the Rangers acquired Eric Stahl at the 2016 trade deadline, it ended up really being like 3 second-round picks. So that's around the trade value that Alexei Sorella had at the time. Which isn't bad, but it's probably not as much as the San Jose Sharks would be looking for Tomas Hurdle, especially since they're a playoff team. This is really hard to gauge. Really, 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 really hard to gauge. Honestly, I think if you take these 3 second-round picks as value and you turn to what the Sharks would ask for Hurdle, you're looking at like a first-round pick, probably Matthew Robertson, and a second-round pick. Also, I forgot to do the the comparables for the Phillip Forsberg. I'm just going to get rid of this one. So we're trading for Phillip Forsberg from the Nashville Predators. Where the hell is he? Let's see how he fits in and whatnot. Ignore the cap space in this. So Phillip Forsberg, if I was doing a trade comparable with Phillip Forsberg with the Rangers to give up for him, it would probably be our first, our second, and probably Gauthier and maybe like a minor piece, maybe like a miniature prospect. After that, like a middle of the pack guy, like a C level prospect. They might want like a Timmy Getz. That for me is a lot. So personally, I would not do this deal. I think it's a little bit too much, a little bit too rich for the Rangers, especially for a guy that's playing the wing. I'm just not seeing. Now, granted, this is pretty good value for the Rangers in terms of Gauthier and Gettinger, but the first and the second, the Rangers are a rebuilding team. Still, even though we are winning, we're still in the process of accruing assets and having a bunch of young assets. Why give them up for a rental? We didn't get long-term solutions. We're going to ditch that Eric Stahl trade right now. We're going to go to the San Jose Sharks and what I think a trade for Tomas Hurdle would look like. Now, if the Rangers acquired Tomas Hurdle, I would bet a lot of money that it would not be a rental deal. If the Rangers trade for Tomas Hurdle, I'd imagine it would probably be Hurdle, a first, and a second for Tomas Hurdle with an extension. I don't see the Rangers making a move for a center unless it comes with an extension. That's just my opinion. I don't know why they'd make a trade for a good young center like that without an extension. Now, in the case of Tomas Hurdle, he's had knee problems. He's been injured a lot. But he's still a freaking damn good player. And to have him as your 3C will be pretty freaking awesome. I think Hurdle first and a second should be able to get it done. That's if other teams are not making just as competitive offers. If teams are making competitive offers, you probably see Matthew Robertson in this deal as well. You give him 4 assets for 18 games or an extension. Something to think about. Not too sure about it. Moving on. Tyler Toffoli. I am not for this deal whatsoever. I don't think the Rangers should get Tyler Toffoli. 3 years left. Good cap hit. Good player. But I'm not really sure he's what the Rangers are looking for right now. So, Tyler Toffoli at his best is a really good second-line winger. He's going to get you 20 goals. He's going to get close to 30, but he'll get you 20 goals. Decent possession numbers, if I remember correctly in my pre-game review. Yeah, good possession numbers, better than Tomas Hurdle. But I don't know. I just don't know if this is what the Rangers are looking for. Now, I'm not saying Tyler Toffoli is a finesse player, because that's honestly not true, because Tyler Toffoli is pretty solid off the puck. Doesn't hit a lot, but I don't know. You know, I take it back. Listen, Tyler Toffoli is not what the Rangers need, all right? The Rangers need a freaking goal scorer, and this guy's got 5 goals this year. Now, I know the Montreal Canadiens are just ass this year, but Tyler Toffoli is not creating much offense on his own. He absolutely can, but he's not. I like other options. If the Rangers are trading for Tyler Toffoli, probably a second-round pick and a prospect. I don't think they trade much more, but I don't know if he fits in with the Rangers. I just don't think he does. You can hear a lot of me contradicting myself on, well, he's got years left of this cap hit, but we can get this guy with an extension. I don't know. Personally, I don't think Tyler Toffoli is a good fit for the New York Rangers. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see it working out. If the Rangers are going to trade for a winger, it would be a top flight winger. It would be a guy like that, Phillip Forsberg, but then again, that's a whole nother story. We've already gotten into that. In terms of comparables for that, I looked at David Perron when he got traded from the... Ooh, Jesus Christ. Ooh, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Woo! I look at when he got traded from the Edmonton Oilers to the Penguins. When he was on the Oilers, he had 19 points, 38 games. Good little player coming off the 57-point season. This is comparable to Foley. Great year before. Year this year. They got him from Rob Klinkheimer in a first-round pick. Look at Klinkheimer as like a B or C level prospect. You really wouldn't be giving up too much. Probably even less than that. Let's see. That was in 2015. That was... Never mind. Not even... He wasn't even a prospect at that point. He was freaking 29 years old. So, a first-round pick and a roster guy. So, a first-round pick and Greg McKegg, maybe. Because that's kind of what Klinkheimer was comparable to at this point. Maybe a Rooney, but I don't see it happening. I don't think we need to make it happen. Moving on. The next one. This guy I'm very excited for because I think the Rangers could and should pursue him, but after the game last night, the way Braden Schneider played, I don't know. Would freaking love Jake Chicren. I think this guy would be mother effing awesome. He needs no introduction. The kid's a stud. We've already talked about Jacob Chicren before. The Rangers were going to make a move on Jacob Chicren from the Arizona Coyotes. It's going to be a complicated trade. The Rangers have a lot of defensemen right now that are NHL ready. A lot. An awful lot. First of all, let's get the notables in here, please, and thank you. The Rangers are already jam-freaking packed on that left side and the right side. They're packed on all sides. We have a lot of defensemen. Okay? We have 8 defensemen that are good and that are freaking young and that should be in the NHL lineup night after night. You're going to bring in another one? Well, if you are, that means one of these guys, I'm sorry, not just one, but now let's just put Nemeth in his spot. That means 3 of these guys will now not be playing. Instead of 4, because Nemeth fucking plays every goddamn night. So, I don't know. If the Rangers are going to make a move for Jacob Chicren, I'd imagine you'd see Boom. You probably see a defenseman go the other way. I'd imagine they'd want Zach Jones. I don't know what the hell they'd want. I don't know if they'd want Jones. I don't know if they'd want Lundqvist. I don't know if they'd want Schneider. I don't know if they'd want Miller. I don't know what the hell they'd want. They'd probably want Keandre Miller. I don't think the Rangers want to move Keandre Miller. See how complicated this is getting? Because I don't know what the hell they'd move, okay? I don't know. I don't know. This is where it gets really complicated. Because, well, first and foremost, if the Rangers are going to get him, they need to eat. They got to eat half his contract. Got to set a first-round pick going back the other way. Got to imagine they asked for Kravtsov. I don't know. This is where it gets really freaking complicated. This is where it gets really complicated because I don't know what else to trade. It'd have to be one of these defensemen. It would have to be Jones, Lundqvist, Schneider, or Miller. They would ask for one of these guys. Who the hell are you parting with? Zach Jones is pretty damn good. K'Andre Miller is pretty damn good. Nils Lundqvist is pretty damn good. Matthew Robertson is going to be pretty damn good. I don't know who you move here. I just don't. If Nemeth doesn't exist, oopsies. Well, then Jacob Chicren exists. Ooh, and Chikren's going to be right there. Who do you trade? Who the hell do you trade? I don't know. I don't think you move K'Andre Miller. I just don't think that you do. I think his ceiling is too freaking high to move him. I think Jones' ceiling is really freaking high. I don't think Robertson has enough value to push the trade meter over the edge to make this deal go through. I don't think you trade Nils Lundqvist. I think the ceiling is too high. I don't think you move Braden Schneider. I think his ceiling is too damn high. However, the issue we have is we already have too many freaking defensemen. Either way, even with Nemeth out of the lineup, you still have two good, young, NHL-ready defensemen in the lineup. I don't know what you do. I just don't. If I was forced to, if they were going to grab my hand and say, you don't have a damn choice anymore, I'd probably move Jones. Probably. That is a really good haul for the Arizona Coyotes. A first-round pick, a former first-round pick, a former first-round pick, a should-have-been first-round pick. And all they got to do is retain salary for what, 3 years? Is that how many years? 3.5 years? I don't see them saying no to this. I just don't. It's a lot to give up for the Rangers, but if you do the deal and you do the dirty, damn. That is good shit. That is a really good friggin' team. I wish Patrick Nemeth just was not here, though. He'd probably end up going to Chicren deal as well just to make the money work. But still, that is a damn good team. So, that's a tough one for me. That is a really tough one for me. Because I really think that Jacob Chicren would be an excellent fit on this team. And I think he should be on this team. I just don't think he will be. I don't see it happening. The Rangers are already so deep on defense. I think if the Rangers do plan on making any more moves, I think it's going to be for a forward. I do. But something to think about because, goddamn, would Chicren be sick on this team. I think the comparable for him is the Brent Burns deal. It was Brent Burns and a second-round pick. Erase the second-round pick. Just do that with the salary retained. For Devin Setoguchi, former first-round pick, first-round pick. And a pretty successful player at that point. Setoguchi was a 20-goal player. Coyle, not as much, but still former first-round pick. So, you take away the second-round pick, and you add in another first, and that's how you get that salary retention for the next 4 years. But, man alive, that is a tough deal to construct. I would love Chicren. I just don't see it happening. The Rangers' defense is too damn depthy. I think if you do it, that defense is even more scary and even more depthy. And to have fucking Chikren's one-timer on the power play, my God, are you talking world-class defense? Just saying. I'm just saying. Would be sick to watch. And I do think if the Rangers make a move for Jacob Chicren, I think they make a move to acquire a forward as well. And the money situation actually almost gets solved because if you lose Patrick Nemeth, Chikren's $200,000 less than Nemeth. So you actually open up cap space by making this deal. Moving on. Mark Giordano. Rangers were rumored to get him before the expansion draft. I don't think he fits in anymore. I think Giordano is going to be traded by the Seattle Kraken. Decent year. Still a really good hockey player. I don't think he fits in with the Rangers. Comparable for him I saw was Alec Martinez when he got traded. 2 second-round picks. Sounds about right. It's probably what Seattle's going to ask for. It's reasonable because of how good Mark Giordano is, even at his age. pending UFA. 2 second-round picks ain't bad. I just don't think it's in the card for the Rangers. I think they'd rather what they have now or spend the extra, get 3.5 years at a really cheap contract on Jacob Chicren. I think the Rangers prefer that. Another Coyotes product, Phil Kessel. Now, if the Rangers really want to upgrade their top 6, they could kill 2 birds in one trade. They can get Chicren and Phil Kessel. I don't think Phil Kessel will cost you much extra in that deal. Phil Kessel, I don't know if I really want him. It's so hard to predict Phil Kessel because he is so freaking inconsistent, okay? 20 goals last year, and what was thought to be a horrendous year for him. He had 14 the year before, 27, 34. Like, he's obviously getting a little bit older now. He's not as good as he used to be, but goddamn, when this guy is on, he's friggin' on. And also, not for nothing, his possession numbers are still pretty damn good. He's still on the worst team in the league by far, controlling the puck over 50% of the time during his shifts. That is insane. Insane. 5-on-5. Probably going to see that Corsi go down a little bit. A lot of it. Never mind. 5-on-5, not controlling it as much. You got to friggin' expect that, though. The Arizona Coyotes are the worst team in the league. But, still, good player. Could help in the top 6 for now. Definitely don't see the Rangers re-signing him if they do acquire him. But, an option nonetheless. Especially if you do the Jacob Chicren deal. Comparable I see for him was the Gus Nyquist trade 2-3 years ago. A second and a third round pick. Honestly, you might even be able to get Phil Kessel for cheaper than that. Nyquist was scoring a lot more than Phil Kessel was. He's also a lot younger than Phil Kessel was at the time of the trade. I don't know how comparable it is. I'm just kind of looking at good top 6 wingers that have speed. Probably comparable. I think you get Kessel for a little bit less. Joe Pavelski. Now, this is one I think Ranger fans are really excited about and really interested in, and one player that I am all for. If the Rangers are going to make just one move at the deadline, make it Joe Pavelski. You don't even got to re-sign him. Him as a rental, I would trade the world for. At the age of 37, still a point per game. Arguably the best player on the Dallas Stars right now. And the Stars got Jason Robertson, Miro Heiskanen, Tyler Seguin, and lots of other good players. Rupe Hansen. Guys, I freaking love. I love Rupe Hansen, by the way. Holy shit, that kid's good. But anyways, this is a guy that I think the Rangers, again, if they're going to make a single trade at this deadline, this is the guy. This is the guy I want. This is the guy I think the Rangers should get. This is the guy I think will put us over the hump. He's freaking amazing. He wins faceoffs. He's not even a fucking center. He gets takeaways, giveaways. He hits. He does everything. He tips pucks. Look at the Corsi. 59-7. Even strength. Come here, you fucker. 55-6. 5-on-5. 55. He controls the goddamn puck. Feed me Joe Pavelski. He's a leader. He's done everything. He literally had 25 goals last year in a 56-game season at the age of 36. 38 goals 3 years ago. He could still score. He could still produce. Joe Pavelski. Comparable for Joe Pavelski would be the Joe McGinley trade when he got traded from the Flames to the Penguins. Was that 5 years ago? 6 years ago? 7? 8? Fuck. I'm getting old. 9? Tits, man. He was old. That's all I'm saying. He was 35 at the time of this trade. Pavelski's 37. It's comparable. Shut your mouth. That was in the shortened season. Again, McGinley was still scoring at a pretty good clip when he got traded to the Penguins. That's why I think it's comparable. C prospect, first round pick. We'll look at Hanowski and Agostino. Again, this is in what year? 2013. So, you know, B prospect and Agostino. Hanowski at that time was probably a C prospect. Basically, if I'm doing this trade, if I'm the New York Rangers, I'm leaving Chicren on there because I fucking love Chicren. JPav to the Rangers. Probably give up another first-round pick, honestly. But if you're just giving up prospects, you probably do... Where the hell is he? Matthew Robertson. Legoat, because he's good, young, and fast. That's what she said. Oh, wait, fuck. I forgot to put Georgiev in the fucking Chicren trade. Oh, well. While we're just trading prospects, probably like a Carl Henriksen, Gauthier, Robertson. Actually, probably Gauthier, Robertson, and I don't know if you have to give up first. You probably have to give up first. Probably something like that. And I make that deal. Because I bet you Joe Pavelski re-signs at a really respectable rate. I would bet a lot of money that he would probably re-sign at a really respectable cap hit. I bet you he'd want to stay here, especially if he's winning. He's probably not going to ask for that kind of money, especially if he's in pursuit of a cup, something he has not won yet. I fucking love this guy. Yanni Gourd, another guy I think would fit in with the Rangers because, quite frankly, the Seattle Kraken suck. And Yanni Gourd is really freaking good. Yanni Gourd, not going to blow you away with his scoring, but he can score. He's depthy. Doesn't win a whole lot of faceoffs, but can win faceoffs. If you watched him be in the playoffs, he's pretty goddamn key in winning those 2 cups for the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning. The only problem is his cap hit, 5.166. I'm not going to say that 3 times in a row, but still, you get it. Good freaking player. Would fit in nice with this Rangers team. If the Rangers were going to acquire him, it's probably going to be something in the realm of that Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Look at the Corsi numbers. Pretty damn good. I think we a great third-line center. Probably in the realm of the Jean-Gabriel Pageau trade from the Senators to the Islanders. He was traded with an extension, a first, a second, and a third. I think that sounds about right for Yanni Gourd. That's probably what they would ask for. Don't think the Rangers should make that move unless they literally have to, and unless the Seattle Kraken are eating half of his contract to do that, make the damn trade all day long. But I doubt they do that. Claude Giroux, I don't think his trade happens for the Rangers, but he's an option. He's on the board. Claude Giroux, pending UFA, looks more likely than not that he's going to be traded by the Philadelphia Flyers. Still scoring at a pretty good rate, 29-33, 43-54, 53-69, nice, 85-82, 102-82. Claude Giroux, he's a good player. He actually wins faceoffs at a ridiculous clip, too. If the Rangers do get Claude Giroux, I wonder if they put him on the second line or they put him on the third line. I also wonder, would the Rangers even be able to get Claude Giroux? Probably not, because the Philadelphia Flyers are probably not going to trade their captain and one of the most beloved players in franchise history to their divisional rival. I just don't see it happening. Maybe as a UFA he might sign here, but that's if the Rangers even have the money to do so. I don't think Claude Giroux is a fit on the Rangers. I love Claude Giroux. He's my favorite player in the NHL, or was my favorite player in the NHL, not on the Rangers for a very, very long time. Obviously, he's slowed down. He's gotten a little bit older. Still a very good, still a very effective player. I think he'd fit in great on this Rangers team. I just don't see it happening. They would ask an arm and a leg for him. If I'm comparing him to anybody else, they're probably similar to the Andrew Ladd trade when he got traded to the Blackhawks from the Winnipeg Jets way back in 2016. Marco Dano, B-level prospect, and a first-round pick and a conditional pick. I don't think the Rangers make that deal. I don't think they can make that deal because I think the Philadelphia Flyers would ask for a lot more than that for the New York Rangers to get Claude Giroux. Again, would be great. Probably not going to happen. Jack Rosavik, who is rumored to be on the block from the Columbus Blue Jackets. I don't know why they would trade him. He's literally a homegrown talent from Columbus, Ohio. He wants to be on the Blue Jackets. Not many hockey players are saying, oh, I would love to play in Columbus. Having a down year, had a great year last year. The kid's got ridiculous hands. He's got ridiculous amounts of skill. If the Rangers were going to get him, I would be kind of for it. But I just don't know what the asking price would be for Jack Rosavik. Probably wouldn't be very high. I got him compared to that Charlie Coyle up there. I'll show you that in a moment. His possession numbers, not bad, not great. 52-1. If you look at even strength, still over 50%, but I don't know. I don't know if the Rangers get Jack Rosavik. I don't know what he's going to cost in the offseason. He's currently at, I don't know. I just don't think it happens. I don't see Jack Rosavik happening. He's just on the block, and he could be an option for the Rangers. A cheaper one, I just don't see it happening. The Charlie Coyle comparison, when Charlie Coyle was traded to the Boston Bruins, for Ryan Donato and a fourth-round pick, a B prospect and a fourth-round pick. That's a very doable trade. That's probably, again, like a Carl Henriksen and a mid-round pick. Doable, but do you need to do it? Probably not. Max Domi, this guy, when is he now on the trade block and, in the same conversation as New York Rangers? Not having a down year with the Blue Jackets, but definitely had a down year the year before. This guy just, perpetually in trade rumors. I think Max Domi would be an awesome get for the Rangers. I just don't see it happening. His possession numbers, even strength, are below 50%. Good player. You could probably get him for really cheap. You just don't know how much money he's going to be asking for this offseason. You don't know how much money he's going to get. Do you really want to pay that guy like this over $5 million a year when he's as inconsistent as he is? I don't know. I love Max Domi. I think he's a great player. I think he was a really good player at one point, but now he's just kind of a solid player. I just don't know if he fits in with the New York Rangers. Who knows? He can come here and fucking resurrect his career like he did when he went to Montreal and had 72 points in 82 games. He very well could do that. I just don't see it happening. Maybe if you put him on line with Panarin and Strome, things happen, but I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see Max Domi in a Rangers uniform, but at the money he's making, I just don't see it happening. Comparable to him would be Derek Roy. Now, this wasn't a deadline deal for Derek Roy. This was a offseason deal. Not this one, because that was embarrassing. It was... Yes, this one right here. So, Kevin Connaughton and a second-round pick. So, again, a B or C level prospect and a second round pick. Derek Roy had a bunch of really good years before he got traded. People still don't understand how he got traded for as little as he did, but he did. The year he got traded in 2013 from Dallas to Vancouver. Again, I don't know why Dallas traded him, but they did. Oh wait, no, hold on. Where's the trade I'm looking for? Oh, never mind. Yeah, it was a deadline deal. I'm an idiot. 22 points in 30 games. Again, a guy from a 40, 60, 70, 80 point scorer getting traded for that little. Max Domi, not a shell of his former self, but pretty much a shell of his former self, not scoring nearly as much as he used to. It's possible. You could get him for this kind of value. I don't think it's bad value. I just don't know if the Rangers really want that right now. If I'm the New York Rangers, my perfect trade deadline involves Joe Pavelski or Jacob Chicren just to stack the shit out of this team. If the Rangers do move those two people, I would like to see Georgiev and Nemeth, Gonzo, Alonso, because we just straight up will not be able to afford this team next season. It just will not work out. With Joe Pavelski as a penny UFA, if he's asking for as much money as he's making right now, it ain't going to work, especially because I imagine the Rangers prioritize re-signing Ryan Strome. We want to do this really, really quickly. Actually, I really don't want to do it right now. We'll just talk about it in the comment section down below. It's possible. That could very well be a Rangers haul at the trade deadline with Joe Pavelski and Jacob Chicren. I think Chicren is less likely because of how well the young players in the Rangers are playing, especially on the defensive side of things. I think the Rangers do prioritize getting a forward. And if Pavelski's the guy, I'm all for it. Joe Pavelski's freaking awesome. But anyways, you guys comment all your thoughts. Who do you think the Rangers should be targeting at the trade deadline? Do you guys think the Rangers should be targeting anybody at the trade deadline? I think we should. I think we need help. But that's for us to discuss and the Rangers to decide. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.